Okay, I am sanded up to 800. Now I take this out to my forge, and it's going to be hard to do, but I got to ruin this finish. I got to heat treat it, and then temper it, and then I'm hoping I can start with 800 and get all the schmutz off it that heat treating is going to put on it. But you want to see what this is going to look like? Let's do that before I put it in a heat treat oven. I'm going to hit this with a buffer real quick and I'll show you. I still got to heat treat it, but it'd be nice just to see a little shine on it before it goes away. Yes. Well, there's an indication of what it's going to look like. Now I heat treat it and I come back with the 800. And what buffing it tells me is that there's no deep scratches I got to go back to working on that you can't see until you hit it with a buffer. So I'm doing good with the sandpaper. I only did one side. So let me heat treat it, temper it, get it cleaned back up, and go back to sanding with the 800, 1000, 1200, and so on. We'll be back. Well, I finally have a shop apprentice. Okay, this is fresh out of the heat treating forge. That's what it looks like coming out. Isn't that amazing? All that hard work, and it basically got to start all over a couple of grits back. But I got to clean it up before I temper it. The tempering oven is on and heating up right now. So I've cleaned that side up. I've cleaned the sides up. Now I got to clean this side up, temper it for an hour, and during that hour my wife will have my undivided attention as a limb cutter. This is about a third of what I've given to that man, and I made him stop coming down here, and I told him that I would cut the rest of it up and call him when I had a load for him. That's another story there. The guy was just helping himself to whatever he wanted, and he wouldn't call. I told him over and over to call before he come, because I have dogs out. And here's one. There's, well, where's, oh, there she is. And there's the third one out here running around, and nobody cares about your dogs like you do. Anyway, there's other reasons. He was a black man who was a racist, because all he talked about was all the horrible things white people have done to him over the years. And here I am cutting wood, loading it up on his truck and giving it to him. And that's all he can talk about is how bad white people are. Alrighty. I got that big tree cut up. And here's how my wife and I usually do this. I cut the big stuff up, throw it in my trailer, bring it over the fire. She picks the brush up, brings it over the fire. We got a real system, and works out. Sometimes if I want to go do something else, I'll come out here and cut all the big stuff, all the limbs away from the big stuff. And that way she can be picking up limbs while I go in and work on a knife or something like that. And then when she gets the limbs picked up, I come out. It's easier. I have a real hard time lifting my legs up over stuff. Real hard time. And it's a lot easier to cut the big stuff when she's got the limbs picked up. I can move around better. Oh yeah, today is not a burn day. It's not a burn day. We are law breakers. Tomorrow's burn day, but it's supposed to start raining this afternoon, so we're hoping to get all this stuff on the fire and burned up on today's Sunday, a non-burn day, which is a $250 fine. But I'm hoping that the code enforcement person either doesn't work on Sunday, or if they do, doesn't see the smoke, because I'm a long way from anywhere where they can get anywhere close to me. See my fence way over there? It's 300 or 400 more feet to a road back there. And that's the only way they could see is if they come in that yard and then try to peek over my fence. I'm surrounded by pasture everywhere else. So it's just not possible unless she's going to walk through a farmer's field. So my wife and I were talking the other day, and we both agree we really dislike this town. This town is full of some really mean people. It's just a mean place to live. I don't know why. And they got crime. They pulled a guy over and he had 2 pounds of meth the other day. This town it's 2,200 people. I mean, it's a tiny little town. And there's crime, there's house break-ins in this little town. And the rules and regulations and friggin' taxes, my God. People say, well, Texas doesn't have a state income tax. Well, they sure as hell got a property tax because, mine is almost $2,000 a year. Property tax. And this is nothing. I got a mobile home for crying out loud. You know? How do people who have mansions afford it? Oh well. I regret moving here. I honestly do. It's been a real struggle to have a decent life here, and everybody's against you, starting with the post office. Remember what the post office put me through? And then I wanted to do a certain thing for my skirting around my mobile home, and they wouldn't let me. They made me go with the ugly-ass vinyl skirting, which nothing says I live in a mobile home more than vinyl skirting. I was going to do it up real nice, but they wouldn't let me. Yeah, I regret moving here. I really do. But I'm here, and I'm trying to make the best of it, so it's not a big deal. Well, that Texas Rumble is heat-treated and tempered, and that is a beautiful, beautiful color right there. All right. I'm not going to be able to work on this anymore today. My wife and I, we almost got this knocked out over here. Almost. We will have it done for the day's out, and it's a good thing because starting tomorrow, we got weeks of rain coming. That's a nice fire. Okay, tell me a trucking story.
I don't have one today.
You don't have one today?
I don't.
I'm
tired.
I'll tell 2 quick ones. The first one was the chicken leg battle. You remember that?
Yeah, I think you've told that story.
Have I told that? I'll tell it again. Okay. BP truck stop, Interstate 81, White Pine. Was it Tennessee?
Yep.
Just over the line, just before you come into Virginia, right? White Pine, Tennessee. Anyway, it's not there anymore. It burned down.
No, wait.
Was it White Pine?
Yeah, it's Tennessee.
It is Tennessee, but it's not far from the line. Okay. We liked going to that truck stop. It was a small truck stop, but they had a nice buffet every day. And we used to go that route often, so we would try to hit it around lunchtime because they always had fried chicken. And I love fried chicken, and I like legs and thighs. Okay, all I like is legs and thighs. I don't like breasts, I don't like wings. I'm a leg and thigh man, and I prefer legs. So I'm up there for my second, maybe third time. And there's one leg left. And this fat lady comes up, and I can say fat lady because I'm fat. Fat lady comes up on the other side of the buffet and grabs the tongs. And just as I close my tongs around that chicken leg, this fat lady comes over and yanks that chicken leg out of my tongs. I'm not kidding. So I reach over and I yank it back out of her tongs, and then she takes her tongs and she hits my tongs and knocks it out of it.
Who does that? Who has a fight with a lady with tongs over
So
a
her and I are
leg?
having this tong sword fight over a chicken leg.
Good
And by the
Lord.
time I let her have it, there was nothing but bone and chicken everywhere. And that
He's
was
not kidding.
I'm
That's
not kidding.
The truth.
It happened.
That's a true story.
exactly like I said it.
That's not one of them. You ain't gonna believe this story. That's what truckers always start out with when they're gonna tell a lie.
Okay, next buffet story. Leather's Truck Stop, Villa Rica, Georgia, Interstate 20. Right before you come into Atlanta, probably 25 miles west of Atlanta, wouldn't you say? About 25 miles or so?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Thank
I
you,
don't like
Jesus.
sauerkraut, but I like hot dogs. And on their buffet was a bin of sauerkraut and hot dogs. Well, like I said, I don't like sauerkraut. And I'm paying $8 or $9 for the buffet, so by God, I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm digging through the sauerkraut, digging out a hot dog or two. And there goes Lucy Bill. And
She's chasing a buzzard.
I'm going back for my second, maybe third trip, eating just the hot dogs, because I don't like sauerkraut. And the cook comes storming out of the kitchen, yelling and screaming at me about eating all her weenies. Remember what she said? Who that eating all my weenies?
She said, "Oh no, you didn't." She did.
Yeah, and she was a big black lady, and she was mad as hell that I had ate all the hot dogs and left
But
the
she was a
sauerkraut.
good cook, because we ate
Oh, yeah.
there a lot.
We ate there all the time. Yeah, she was a great cook. So in my head, I'm thinking, by God, I'll eat whatever the hell I want to eat. You ain't the boss of me. I don't work for you. I pay for this buffet. And if I want hot dogs, I'll eat hot dogs. Ain't nobody going to tell me any daggum different. But what my mouth said was, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. I won't eat anymore. Okay.
That's a true story.
That's a true story. Well, I got all the big stuff cut up. And we got almost all the little stuff picked up. But we got to quit. Here's why. We're both starting to worry. It's getting dark. And we're worrying that they could probably see the the fire from the road. So we're going to quit now. We don't want to throw any more over on there to bring up the flames. And maybe late tonight, if it's not raining, I'll come out here and throw them on there. And if we got any dry spell tomorrow, we'll finish this up. We could finish it up, but because of the fire Nazis that drive around, we're worried about a ticket. So, can you believe that? Isn't that nonsense? Everything around here is soaking wet from all the rain we've had. Anyway, that's it for this story. The saga continues. Tomorrow, I will go back to working on that Texas Rumble, and I'll show you when it's all purty.